You're welcome to this session. I'm Raymond. We are still continuing with the equation of the straight line. Now I'm going to give another example 2. Example 2, which we can still use. Find the equation of the straight line. The equation of the straight line below. Find the equation of the straight line below. And there is a certain diagram here. A certain diagram. The equation of the straight line below. This one is x-axis and this one is the y-axis. 2, 4, 6. And this one is 3, 6, 9. They want us to get the equation of this straight line. Now, for us to get the equation of this straight line like this, before you do anything, you have to first identify the coordinates. You have to first identify the what? The coordinates. Where the line is cutting the x-axis and the y-axis. This line is cutting the x-axis at 6. And this one is cutting the y-axis at 9. Positive 9. I can call this point P and this one Q. You first identify them. You say that my point P is 0, 9. And the point Q is 6, 0. It is 6, 0. Without after identifying these points, here you can earn a mark because you have identified them. Then after, you go ahead and calculate what? The gradient. As we said that for us to get the equation of the straight line is got from y equal to mx plus c. So you have to first get the gradient of PQ. So gradient of PQ is got from change in y-axis divided by change in x-axis, where it will be y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. As I told you that the first coordinate has got the value of x1, y1. The second coordinate has got the value of x2, y2. So come back and substitute in your formula. You say that my y2 is 0. My y1 is 9. All over x2 is 6. x1 is 0. So 0 minus 9, you get negative 9. 6 minus 0, you get 6. You can go ahead and reduce. You say that maybe by 2, by 3, negative 3. By 3, positive 2. You can leave the answer like that, or you can simplify. Now, we write the equation of the straight line. You said therefore the equation of the line, will be over O is since it is given as y equal to mx plus c, as I told you that in the equation there must be x and y. We already have the gradient. We have got it as negative 3 out of 2. Our c we said that it is a y-intercept, where the line cuts the y-axis. Where is the line cutting the y-axis? The line is cutting the y-axis at 9. You can see that the line, it is meeting the y-axis at what? At 9. That one becomes our c. This time we are not going to calculate it. We are not going to calculate c. We shall just see it because the diagram was given in the question. So you just say the equation of the straight line will be y equal to m. We have got it as negative 3 over 2. X plus c. If c was negative, we will say minus. If it is positive, you add plus. So c is 9. So plus 9. So that one becomes our equation of the straight line. Now, we still have another method which I can introduce to you on how we can get the equation of the straight line. Our equation of the straight line can be also got, instead of first getting the gradient, you can just punch in at once in the equation. Method 2. This is method 2 on getting the equation of the straight line. Since we have the coordinates, coordinate P, we said that it is 0, 9. Coordinate Q, we said that it is 6, 0. Since in our equation we have another coordinate, maybe x, y. In our equation we have x and y. You can just use this equation, this formula for the gradient. You just say gradient equal to change in y over change in x, where it will be y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. Then I say that, how do we get a gradient? Gradient, this one is x1, y1. This one is x2, y2. Also, this one can be called another coordinate which we don't know in our equation. So just say y gradient is 0, which is y2, minus y1, which is 9, all over x2 is 6, x1 is 0. We have got 0 minus 9, negative 9 over 6. We end up getting negative 3 over 2 after reducing. We can still use this equation. We say, using this point Q or P or Q, you can use Q, you can use P. I can use using point Q, the second point, which is 6, 0. And another point which I told you that x, xy, which we don't know. Now, we can still get another gradient. We use this formula, we get the gradient. This one is x1 and this one is y1. This one has become x2, this one has become y2. How do we get the gradient? We know that gradient equal to y2 minus y1 all over x2 minus x1. y2 is y. y1 is 0. x2, it is x. x1 is negative, it is positive 6. So, already we had the gradient, we have already got the gradient as negative 3 out of what? Over 2. I just come and substitute. I just say negative 3 over 2, which I got at first, will equal to y minus 0 will become y. X minus 6 will remain as the way it is, as x minus 6. Now, here we intend to make y the subject of what? The formula. Let me think that you're getting me. And after we cross multiply, for us to get the to remain with y alone on one side, we have to first cross multiply. Negative 3 times x minus 6 will remain with negative 3 into x minus 6 equal to 2 times y, we get 2y. So when we open up the brackets, we shall have negative 3y, a negative times a negative, you get a positive. Negative 3 times negative 6, we get positive 18, equal to y. Since I told you that we are making y the subject to the formula, we are supposed to divide by 2 on both sides. Divided by 2, divided by 2. So we shall end up getting our equation. Of the line as y equal to negative 3x over 2 plus 18 over 2. Because 2 is covering everything on the numerator. So when we can reduce, you can leave it like that, or you reduce, you simplify it. Negative 3x over 2 plus 9, which we had at first also. So meaning you can use this second method or the first method, you still get the same what? Answer. So for now, let us first stop from there as I come in for another one.